Hey, what's going on YouTube? Everyday Gunplay here, and today we are recording live from the ramen shop for the very first time. We are in the midst of greatness here, guys. This kit is a reboot of a anime mecha classic, one that is near and dear to my heart, one that I've preached about on this channel numerous times. Today we are reviewing the InGram Plus for EZY, the new up-and-coming PatLabor anime. And when I say that this is mecha royalty, that is not an understatement, folks, because you've got the Macross V, you've got the InGram 98, which don't get this confused. This is not the original AV 98 InGram. This is the upgraded version, or excuse me, updated version. And then you have Grandpa, the RX-78-2 Gundam, the top 3 mecha of the 70s and 80s. And if you guys want to argue with me about that in the comments, please, I will go toe-to-toe with you people about this all day. And no offense, if you ain't got the knowledge, if you ain't got the know-how, you will lose this debate. If you do not think that PatLabor belongs in the top 3 echelon of mecha anime, you can go fuck yourself. So with that said, let's talk about PatLabor, shall we? PatLabor came out the year I was born, 1988. A great year for greatness, and it featured one of the most awesome original mechs of all time, the AV-98 InGram. Classic, beautiful, amazing mech. Set in an alternate late 1990s, heavy construction and civil engineering are performed and piloted by robots known as labors. This is a little breakdown for you who are not initiated, and let's be honest, a lot of you are not initiated about PatLabor. It's a Babylonian project that kicks off PatLabor. It's a land reclamation initiative to dam up Tokyo because the bay gets flooded. Now, this sounds probably boring as hell to some people. It's not super into the politics of Gundam and the ace Top Gunness of Macross, but PatLabor is more of a everyday man's mecha, a slice of life, if you will. And that's why it is beloved by me and millions of people all around the world, because it takes the mecha genre and it kind of flips it on its head at this point, because up until then you had the hero mechs like the RX-78, Zeta Gundam. Hell, I think Char's Counterattack was the year before. So, and then you had the Macross with the V, FV1, and all those guys. So those were all like hero mechs. But the InGram really wasn't a hero mech. Yes, it was a main suit from the series, but it wasn't like it was a, hey, this is a Gundam and it just goes and decimates everything. Actually, no, the mechs in PatLabor actually get wrecked a lot. And that is why I think a lot of people like resonated with it, because it felt like real life. Like these could be something real, you know, like something that existed in our time, in our reality. So I think that's why a lot of people like myself who watched it later on in the 90s resonate with it, because I was like, oh, okay, cool. These things can be destroyed. These things can be beaten. Like everyday mechs can go toe-to-toe with InGrams. Yes, InGrams were top technology, but everything affecting the mecha in PatLabor even affected the InGrams. So it's not like it's a god tier mech, but it's more of a, hey, anyone can learn to pilot these things. and anyone can get their ass whooped in these things, which I think a lot of people, again, appreciate. I know I did, and I know that's why I love this series, and I love everything PatLabor, because, like I said, it really does take the hero mecha archetype, or whatever, and it flips it on its head. Unlike most 1980s mech anime centered on grand galactic wars or teenage chosen ones, PatLabor brought giant robots down to Earth, specifically to a mundane world of law enforcement. Look at how some agencies around the country mishandle their equipment, and there's videos on the internet of people doing donuts in cop cars and flipping cop cars and crashing into shit, and that's pretty much PatLabor. It's policing for the future, if you will. And because labors were built for helping people, they eventually led to people turning them into instruments of crime, terrorism. There's people who go drunk driving in labors. PatLabor is just so dope and so different that it's like, for me, it's like a police academy with mechs. If you guys have seen Police Academy 1, Police Academy 2, then you'll understand that basically PatLabor is that, just with fucking mechs. Now, that's not a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's actually hilarious. And I think that's why a lot of you guys should actually go watch it. It's so beloved, and it's so niche that so many people either have heard of it or they've never heard of it. You got Noe Izumi, her unit Alphonse, and she treats it like a pet, dude. She loves her mech, and then the mechanics spend half their lives complaining about the broken parts and the budget parts of the InGram. They give you one revolver, and the way that they go about how you have to get so much bureaucracy to even fire off your fucking revolver in the city is hilarious, because there's I think 2 or 3 levels of supervisors who have to approve, and then once you get the approval, when you fire it off, it generates a shit ton of damage, and it just destroys buildings. And it starts off funny, and then it goes into very serious territory. You get a little bit of geopolitics. You get the crazy iconic ensemble of SV2 Division 2. The main character is Neo, but you got Captain Klichi Goto. You got Asuma, the sarcastic comedy relief. Even though Captain Goto is the most chill boss you could ever have, and I think he's a little bit too chill, and he's a little bit too lazy, but he's super smart, and he pretty much saves the day with his geniusness, which is pretty cool. And yeah, it's just peak anime, peak 80s 90s anime craftsmanship, honestly. But anyways, let's get into this build of the EZY, which is premiering with the brand new anime that's coming out soon. This thing is this thing is a real grade. I think that Bandai made a huge mistake starting off with a real grade of this thing. I think this should have completely been a master grade, but what is here is perfection. And I'm not saying this kid is perfect. There are a few flaws. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but this thing was, and I hate small kids. You guys know that. I cannot stand little kids. I have these giant sausage fingers, but I am unbigging my back. Just a little update. I am unbigging my back. We're losing weight, guys. Anyways, the color separation, you're getting the InGram. There's not a lot of color separation. What is there is pretty cool. I kind of wish we would have got the combat vest for him if we're getting a real grade of this with the price point of this thing. But what is here is real grade perfection. And if you've built any of the good real grades out there, Sazabi, Zeta, you know, it's definitely up there with the grandpa, and you guys are gonna have a good time building this thing. It's all white aesthetic with some blue undertones. You've got the cool lights on it. The head, this beautiful InGram head. The InGram head is probably one of the coolest mecha heads ever designed, in my opinion, and it absolutely rivals, I think, the original RX-78 head, and in terms of aesthetics, because it's a lot of less is more, and it's just really cool to look at. You really get a lot of detail for a lot less design with this. The antenna is cool. The face mask is dope. It definitely took some inspiration from Grandpa with the covered face, which, you know, that's not bad. I will say that a lot of Mobile Suit Gundam going forward definitely took a lot of inspiration from the InGram. Look at the suit I just reviewed, you know? And then just look at what the InGram has done with that, and it's all just pretty dope, you know? Like it's really cool. And I think that at the end of the day, the mecha used to all pull from each other back in the day, so that was pretty dope. The articulation on this thing is really awesome. You can do a lot of poses with it. We will see that later in the video. And it was just all around an easy build. It felt really good for how small of a kit it is. Actually, it's not that small, honestly. It's a lot bigger than a lot of other real grades. I believe it's about almost 6 inches tall, which is really cool for a real grade. It's got the weapons. The weapons are alright, but what is there is PatLabor. You know, like if you know PatLabor, then you know that there's a reason for all the like little bit of weapons that it has and what it does have. It's there for a reason, and it'll make sense if you guys understood PatLabor and understood that these guys were under budget constraints, and the most powerful weapon that the InGram even has was this massive shotgun that gets like blown to bits most of the time. And you know, I don't know, just watch it, guys, seriously. Anyways, who's this kit for? This kit is for everybody. You know I've been talking about the series most of the video. It has something for everyone. This thing is really easy to build. For a real grade, there's not a huge amount of stuff to do. You put it together, you run through it. The legs, I believe, are the longest part, so start with the legs and just have a good time. It was really fun to build this thing. It was cool to see the InGram just, you know, you're just stacking it, you just want to finish it, you know? And as you can see right here, this thing is beautiful. Do I recommend this kit for everyone? Absolutely, 100%. I mean, go out and get this thing. The price is probably the biggest issue here. And I think that it needs to be at least like 30 bucks, maybe $35. For $80, this is for what's not here. And what's not here is a lot of weapons, a lot of detail, a lot of gimmicks. The chest opens, the arms come off, or the arm opens. You know, it's got good articulation, but for the price and what's not there, and the lack of color and everything else, it's not. I don't know. I would wait for it to go on sale personally, but I love PatLabor, so I will buy anything PatLabor. What am I going to score this kit? For a real grade, it's definitely a 10. But for what you're getting for the price, I'm gonna have to score this probably a 8.9 out of 10. And that's no disrespect to PatLabor, because I could look at this thing all day, but Bandai kind of chewed themselves in the foot with this one. So if you like the content, guys, again, the contest will be here in a few days, so look out for the Master Grade contest. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and let's talk about PatLabor, guys. This is Everyday Gunpla. I am out.